Hey everyone, it's Susan Pierce Thompson and welcome to the weekly vlog. We are back with a third installment of our series on what Brightliners actually eat. We did breakfast 2 weeks ago, we did lunch last week, and this week we rounded out with a focus on dinner. What do Brightliners eat for dinner? In my experience, dinner is the meal that carries the most variety. And I will say that that doesn't always serve everyone well. Sometimes people get into a place where they're doing great with Brightline eating up until the witching hour, and then after dinner they go off plan. And if that's your experience, consider being more regimented with what you eat for dinner, especially if you always eat the same thing for breakfast, typically eat mostly the same thing for lunch, and dinner's where you get in your variety, and that's where you go awry. Consider settling on a dinner and just eating that like you eat your typical breakfast. I do that these days pretty much. My dinners don't vary that much. My standard dinner is a huge salad with kidney beans or tofu or tempeh on top. Sometimes I'll have cooked tofu or tempeh, or I'm not strictly plant-based right now, so if someone in the house has cooked up some sort of animal protein, I might have that. And then if someone has cooked up some cooked vegetables, I might have those. I love roasted Brussels sprouts or steamed broccoli or whatever. I really like all vegetables, so it doesn't matter. And then I'll have an 8-ounce salad on the side of that. So sometimes I do that, but mostly I have a huge salad. But lots of people in Brightline Eating had all kinds of ideas, and here is what Brightliners eat for dinner. Check it out.
Hi everybody, I'm Christy Watson. I'm from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and we're in the middle of a blizzard. And today I'm going to show you how to make my absolute favorite recipe, taco salad. Okay, you're going to need 4.5 ounces of black beans, a half a cup of water, half teaspoon taco seasoning, 5 ounces onions and peppers, 1 ounce corn kernels, 2 ounces of Greek yogurt, 2 ounces of avocado, 6 to 8 ounces of salad greens depending on the meal, and salt, pepper, and cilantro for garnish. I like to start by putting a little bit of butter in my pan, and then I wipe out all of the residue, just leaving a nice glaze. Add in your bell peppers and your onions. Of course, I'm using brand new skillets for this video because if you're a parent and have children like mine, they burn all of your cookware. To tell you a little bit about myself, I am a 21-year licensed nail technician and 6-time published author, mother of 3 and wife of almost 26 years. I've been a Brightliner for just over 60 days, and I cannot imagine ever going back. We just want these to be slightly browned, crisp, tender. They should have a nice crunch when you bite into them. Once those are done, we're going to start again, butter the pan, wipe it out. I'm going to add in the beans, half a cup of water, and half teaspoon of taco seasoning. Typically I make my own. I'm going to bring those up to a pretty good simmer. Also, I'm a rescue mom currently with 12 rescue animals, so to say things get crazy around here is an understatement. We're going to simmer these and reduce them down until they are a good creamy consistency. It should just take a few minutes. Also, just to clarify, when I say we, I'm typically talking about me and my inner saboteur, Stan. He doesn't usually like health food, but when it comes to taco salad, Stan is all in. Almost there. There we go. Good and creamy. One more time, butter the pan, wipe it out. 1 ounce of corn kernels. These guys are probably GMO corn, so that just means that they are genetically modified to pop out of the pan and shoot you directly in the eye, so I would cover them with a lid if I was you. There's no need to burn these guys, we just are looking for a little bit of browning to increase the flavor. Time to plate up. We're going to start out by putting in about 6 to 8 ounces of salad greens, depending on which meal you are doing. Our peppers and onions cook down to right around 4.5 ounces, and then our corn kernels a little less than that. So I add them in, and then I just add whatever lettuce to make up the difference in vegetables. Dump your beans in, add your Greek yogurt, a little bit of avocado as our fat. On occasion, I like to use pico de gallo as my free salsa, a little black pepper, and cilantro for garnish. This is one of the easiest and quickest meals that I make and is super satisfying, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Hi, my name is Margaret O'Pry and I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, and I've been a Brightline eater since April of 2018. I'm a number 8 on the susceptibility scale. I have a recipe for you today that I think you're going to find very delicious, and it's very easy to make. These are the ingredients that go in it. They're tomatoes, onions, zucchini, Parmesan cheese, and it's the coarse kind of Parmesan cheese. Then seasonings, salt, parsley, garlic powder, black pepper, and onion powder. Olive oil spray, and you just spray a little bit. You take your zucchini and you just start filling up the bottom of the casserole dish. So here I put the seasoning on the vegetables. A little salt, a little black pepper, parsley, a tiny bit of onion powder, tiny bit of garlic powder. Then I layer onion slices. You can use a mandolin to cut your slices evenly, or you can do just like I did and cut them by hand. Now our next step is to add the tomatoes. We layer the tomatoes on. The last part of the layering is you shake some Parmesan cheese on top of the tomatoes. Then if you have a deep enough pan, you make another layer of the zucchini, the onions, the tomatoes, and the Parmesan cheese. Place it in an oven at 375 degrees for 30 to 45 minutes. Depending on how thick the slices of your vegetables are, you want to cook it to where the tomatoes are wilted and the zucchini is cooked but not mushy. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that.
Hi, I'm Cindy Jukes. I'm from Taylorsville, Utah. I'm a retired kindergarten teacher, and I joined Bright Lines on March 19th, 2019, and the program has brought me great happiness and joy, and I love it. I'm going to share with you my favorite dinner meal, and it's called lentil tacos. And it's a recipe I got out of Women's World, which is exactly where I heard about Bright Lines for the first time. And it's called lentil tacos, and my family loves it in tacos, but I don't usually eat it in tacos. I eat it other ways. But it's very easy to make. And you can use any color lentil, and you can use any kind of broth. So in a pan, I put the oil, the olive oil, and the garlic, and the onions, and cook it for about 5 minutes, and then I add the taco seasoning, and the lentils, and the broth, and cover it and cook it for about 30 minutes, and then I take the lid off and let it simmer a little while, and you end up getting about this much. One way that's fun to have it is to make little cheese taquitos like this, or little cheese tacos. It's very easy. You just put a piece of parchment paper and you take any kind of cheese that you like, any kind, and cook it. The recipe is right here. 6 to 7 minutes. And another thing I like is it on Ezekiel bread with avocado. You could also make a sandwich this way and add sprouts or anything else that you like on your sandwiches. My very favoriteest way to eat them is in my dinner salad. And I always have avocado as my dinner fat, and I like balsamic vinegar and lime on my dinner salad.
Hi, my name is Butch Lieber, and I live in Phoenix, Arizona. I've been doing Bright Line Eating since October 10th, 2020, and I have lost 60 pounds. Your air fryer is your best friend. I can take a frozen piece of salmon, put it in the air fryer, put nothing on it, cook it for 9 minutes at 400 degrees. At 9 minutes, turn it over, season it however. I put salt and pepper and garlic powder on it and some paprika, smoked paprika. Put it back in for 9 more minutes at 400 degrees, and at the end of that 18 minutes, it is the perfect piece of salmon. If you like it a little more well done, I like mine inside still a little soft, but it's a quick fix for a quick meal with meat right from the freezer to your plate in less than 30 minutes, so it's perfect. And lastly, vegetables. Roasted vegetables. I love my roasted vegetables. My favorite new recipe is I take a zucchini, cut it into small chunks, cut it in half, then cut it in half again. Put the spears up, the skin side down, salt, pepper, little bit of olive oil, fresh garlic, and I use herbs de Provence on top. It's a mix of like Italian steaky herbs, and bake it 450 degrees. You have to go super hot, which keeps the oven dry. Rather than baking the vegetables, you actually want to roast the vegetables. And then 450 for about 30 minutes. Zucchini takes a little longer than some other vegetables. Oh my God, it's so good. Cook way more than you think you need, because when you roast the vegetables, all the water comes out, and you weigh my poor husband has not had the opportunity to have vegetables some nights, because after I put in all the vegetables and I cook it, I'm left with my serving, and he's got to go scrounge for something else. But he doesn't have a weight problem. He's good. So he eats his ice cream for dessert. So thanks. And again, Butch Lieber, Phoenix, Arizona. So great to be on this journey with you.
Hi, I'm Nikki, and I live in Sydney, Australia. I have been doing BLE since September 2018. When I started, I was over 300 pounds, and it took me about a year to lose more than half of that. So now I'm down at around the 145 pounds, and I've been at maintenance for a year, well, since September 2019, so a year and a half or so. I thought I would share with you not so much a sort of singular recipe, but just a way that I prepare food to make things really manageable for our really busy lives. So for both lunch and dinner, I have a really beautiful fresh salad, and often what I will do is I'll prepare it in the evening when I'm making dinner and things like that, not just for me, but for the rest of the family. But I want my salads, I'll prep my salad for that dinner, but then I'll also make my lunch for the next day. So my lunch for the next day is already ready and good to go. And what I will do is I kind of batch cook the components of the meal, if that makes sense. So I'll show you here. I've got a big tub of veggies that I've basically chopped up. And it's all vegetables that last really well. Things like cabbage, celery, beetroot. What else is in there? Shallots, kale, carrot. They're not kind of soggy things that are going to go yucky over time. And so I'll mix up a big batch like this, and that will last me like a full week for all my salads. And I'll also cook up like a whole batch of a grain. So here I've got some pearl barley. Next time I make it, it might be quinoa or whatever. And then I've got, some beautiful avocado, and I've got some salmon that I've cooked. So I have a protein that I kind of have on the go, a grain that I have on the go, and then I've got my salad mix as a base. So I was just going to make my salad for tomorrow. I've got my trusty digital scale here. And what I do is I just weigh out my quantities, and you'll see that, making my lunch for tomorrow, or my dinner for tonight, takes me a grand total of about 3 minutes. It's really super easy. So I've just weighed out my grain portion. I'm just going to zero my scales. I'll get some cherry tomatoes and throw in some of my salad mix and get that up to what I need it to be in my for my salad. There we go. A bit more. Perfect. I might even go really fancy and chop the tomatoes in half. That's like putting serious effort in. And I often like to, you know, add a bit of like some condiments or something like that. So I've got some pickles here. You can have a couple of ounces of pickles that count as condiment. So that, you know, makes my salad really delicious. So there we go. I've just weighed out some pickles, making sure I'm not having too much, not having too little, just the right amount. And I'm going to pop in my avocado now as my fat for my meal. And that is done. Perfect. Take a tiny bit. Yep. And my protein. So here I'll just zero my scales again. I've got some beautiful salmon here that I cooked the other night for dinner. Now often, as I think will happen right now, I'm a tiny bit short. So I'm trying to weigh out 4 ounces of salmon, and I've only got 3.6 here. So I also have some roast beef, and I'm just going to make up the rest of my portion with this roast beef, so that I have exactly the right amount. There we go, perfect. And that means that, you know, I've now kind of almost transitioned, if you like, to my next protein that I've got on the go. And, you know, I might throw in, I've actually got some beautiful coriander here. You can have some herbs. So I might put some coriander on top, but other than that, I'm done.
Hello, BLE peeps. My name is Samia. I'm from Casablanca, Morocco. So today I will present to you my favorite salad, which I find is an amazing treat. I used to hate salad, by the way. So it's going to be basically a salad, lettuce-based salad with a whole bunch of toppings and some tuna as your protein. So we have 4 ounces of mixed greens, 1 ounce cherry tomato cut up in half, 1 ounce corn, 1 ounce shredded carrots, 1 ounce radish cut up, 2 ounce avocado, 4 ounce beautiful canned tuna, and that's about it. Now, the secret to this is the vinaigrette, as we call it in French. It's basically a sauce. So vinaigrette is 1 teaspoon, good teaspoon of mustard, free condiment, that you kind of like liquefy with a few drops of white vinegar. So that's gonna make your mustard go a little bit more liquid, basically. That's the idea. Don't put too much vinegar, otherwise it tastes awful. Salt and pepper, and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. So the idea is to emulsify, I think is the word, emulsify. So you're basically forcing two different textures together. So forcing the mustard to the oil. So in the beginning it's going to look like kind of like dismantled, but you just keep on insisting, and you just keep on beating it, and it's going to turn into a really creamy sauce. So this is the result. This is how it should look. It's a little bit too dense, so you can liquefy it with a drop of water. Up. There you go. So this is it. All right, our vinaigrette is done. we have our lettuce. We just add all the toppings. We got the cherry tomatoes, radish, carrots, corn, and avocado. And your tuna. Then your vinaigrette. Toss it. Well, I'm sure you know that part, but you know. There you go. All tossed. And this is my BLE weight loss salad, weight loss face salad.
Hi, my name's Jerry Robbins, and I live in Boston, Massachusetts. I've been following Brightline Eating since May of 2018, first on the 14-day challenge and then as part of the boot camp. I originally discovered Brightline Eating in October of 2015 with the release of the Food Freedom videos, but the truth was I wasn't quite ready to give up not my food. After several years of trying to go it on my own, I did make my way back to Brightline Eating, and I haven't had one moment of regret ever since. I've lost my excess weight, and as the saying goes, I get to live happy and free in a body that works for me. Today I'm going to show you some green salad that what I call eating the rainbow. So let me see if I can show you. So there's 3 kinds of lettuce here. I have arugula, closest to you. I have romaine lettuce, closest to me. And on this side, I have spinach. I also have purple cabbage, tomatoes, English cucumber, carrots, and red peppers up here in the corner. That is my idea of eating the rainbow. To go with that, I'm going to have 4 ounces of hummus that I'm going to thin with some water so it creates not only a protein, but it acts like a salad dressing. And then for my fat today, I'm going to have 1 ounce of shredded cheese. And it's one of my favorite salads. It's very satisfying, it's very filling, and it's super tasty.
Hi, Bright Lifers. My name is Tony Charles. I live in Connecticut. This is day 867 of Brightline Eating. I've released 90 pounds. For dinner, I'm having steamed edamame, 6 ounces, and cooked veggies, 10 ounces, and hibiscus tea punch, which is lemon, ginger, mint, and hibiscus leaves steeped in a tea, 12 ounces of that. And I drink 8 glasses of water a day. And I keep my gratitude list, and I post it and put it on my in my handy dandy Brightline Eating food journal, which I commit to 4 buddies every night. And that's a very important part of my program. It helps keep me honest with myself and with my Brightline Eating community. So that's it for me, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Good morning, my name's Caroline. I'm dialing in from England, in Nottingham in England. I'm going to show you how to make my tomato chili soup. I eat this when I'm working because I cycle a long way. Sometimes I can be cycling for 5 hours. So this keeps me warm because I teach children how to ride in schools, so they are safe on the roads, and it's cold in the winter. We're in midwinter in the UK here. So I use a tin of chopped tomatoes and 1.3 ounces of dried red lentils, a carrot or 2 small carrots and a parsnip. Just chop the ends off and wash them, chop them, and a clove of garlic, few chili flakes, not many unless you like it hot, salt and pepper, lots of salt. I followed Susan's advice and put lots of salt in my diet when I started BLE a year ago. I really needed it. A stock cube, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and I knew what I'd forgotten. Oh no, it's down here, rolled on the floor. My onion, chopped onion, So I put them all in a pan, mix them up and boil them for half an hour. Or in my slow cooker for 4 hours if I'm making it at breakfast time. I'm eating it at lunch or overnight for 8 hours in my slow cooker. And this is what it looks like. It's like a stew soup, and I use the 1 bowl method to measure it. There you go. So yeah, there's my tomato chili soup. It's more like a stew, 1 bowl method, and yeah, you've got your fat protein, your vegetable protein, and your protein in there. So I'll team that with an orange. Yeah, I would eat an orange with that. Okay, thanks so much. Bye.
Hello, Bright Lifers. I am Thanas Menegos from Athens, Greece. I'm a crystal vaser for over 3.5 years of Bright Life. In the 1st of May, I will have 4 years. And I am a 7 on the susceptibility scale. The dinner I like the most because it is easy and tasty and light for the night is legumes with rice and veggies. I use legumes of any kind, just boiled, rice and veggies. And I prepare the legumes just boiled. I use some marinade tofu, put it in the toaster and toast it for 5 minutes. Put all the ingredients that my program permits in a bowl and use some mustard and vinegar as dressing. And that's all. Enjoy it.
Hi everybody, my name's Elizabeth. I live in Maryland. I've been doing Brightline Eating for about 2 years, and I wanted to share with you one of my favorite dinner recipes, which is spaghetti squash with tofu peanut sauce. Now, this isn't going to work for everybody because it has peanut butter in it, and I know some people don't do that. If this recipe was in the Brightline Eating official cookbook, it would definitely have 3 bells for the trigger level, but I find it very yummy and very easy to do, so I wanted to show you what I do. I start with a spaghetti squash, like this. I take a sharp knife, I poke 12 or 15 times on the surface of the squash. I put the squash in a pan and put it in the oven, 400 degrees, for about 1 hour and 15 minutes. I take it out and let it cool for a couple of hours until it's cool enough that I can handle. At that point, I cut it in half, I scoop out the seeds, and I start pulling the spaghetti out, usually with a fork, not with my fingers. I weigh out 10 ounces. I do my veggies 10 and 10. So I weigh out 10 ounces of spaghetti squash. Other veggies that I think are good in this, if you want to supplement, would be carrots, shredded carrots, chopped up cucumber, mung bean sprouts, if you can get any of those from your health food store, maybe some scallions. So whatever combination of veggies, mostly spaghetti squash and a little bit of other stuff if you want. I often don't find that a spaghetti squash makes an even number of 10-ounce servings, so having a little bit to supplement can be very helpful. And then for the sauce, what I do is I use, per serving, I use 3 ounces of silken tofu. This is the shelf-stable tofu that I find in the ethnic foods aisle of my local grocery store. There are a number of different brands. 3 ounces of this, that's 3/4 of a protein. I use 1 ounce of peanut butter, and 1/2 ounce of peanut butter is 1/4 of a protein, so that makes up the other 1/4 of a protein with the tofu, so you have a full protein. And then 1/2 ounce of peanut butter is a fat. So this sauce is going to have 1 serving of protein and 1 serving of fat in it. So tofu, peanut butter, tablespoon of lime juice, and a tablespoon of soy sauce. And then I use 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger per serving and 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. I mix that all together with my immersion blender, and it makes a sauce that looks about like this. Pretty runny. Actually, what I do usually is I make up 4 servings at once, and that way I'm using the whole package, the whole 12-ounce package of silken tofu, 4 ounces of peanut butter, a 1/4 cup each of lime juice and soy sauce, and 1 teaspoon each of garlic powder and powdered ginger. And then I weigh out my 10 ounces of spaghetti squash in a large bowl. I add my 5 ounces. 5 ounces is a serving of this. So if you make up more than 1 serving, you just weigh out 5 ounces of the sauce. Mix it all together, heat it up in the microwave if it's not hot enough, and eat. Very yummy. This sauce, if you have extra, it freezes really well. Pull it out, give it a little stir, maybe add a tiny bit of water if you need to, and that is one of my favorite dinners. Enjoy, everybody. Goodbye.
Hi, I'm Renee Hockyard, and I'm here today to share one of my favorites. It's a hot, sizzling pizza salad recipe. And I say sizzling because we have snow outside of our cabin. We're up in Lake Almanor, California, and in the summer, I would make this salad like a regular salad and serve it cold. And in the winter, I warm it just enough so that it's warm without really making everything limp. And it depends on the greens that you use, but I just have in here romaine and iceberg lettuce because I can get it to stay crisp. Unlike the spinach that I love, it just doesn't hold up. So it gets really, really wilted real quickly. So then once I have this on my scale, then I would zero it out and add 3 ounces of pepperoni slices, and then I zero it out again. I'd add 1 ounce of Camulato olives, zero it out again, and I would just add 2 tablespoons of my pizza sauce that I've already mixed a couple more tablespoons of water so that it's more like a salad dressing that'll coat everything. Making sure my bowl is zeroed out, I would take my sprayer that I love and I would spray until I get the reading of the amount of fat that I want on this, which is 1/4 of an ounce. And then I would add my cheese, which I use a FODMAP cheese because I have intestinal issues and FODMAP foods are better for me. This is made out of cheese. Excuse me, it's made out of sheep cheese, sheep cream or sheep milk rather. And then I would add some peppers, salt and pepper, mix it, and then put it in the microwave just long enough so that the bottom of the bowl feels warm. And I would, usually that's a minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes, depending on how much you have in the bowl.
Hey, BLE folk, this is Tony Wade. How you doing? So this is what I eat for dinner often. I start with a 6-ounce salad, and I make it out of very simple, just spinach and maybe some matchsticks carrots. And I will mix up some whole guacamole up in there. It's the spicy one, 2 ounces of that in there. Put 2 tablespoons of salsa on top because I likes it. And then my other fat that I have is a 1/2 ounce of seeds, sesame seeds, which are on top there. Then moving on to my other in the green bowl, I have 8 ounces of corn, 8 ounces of brown rice, and then 6 ounces of red chili beans. And I may put some, probably will put some liquid aminos on there and some Cholula hot sauce on that bad boy. Then up there in the purple bowl, I do have some blue red grapefruit and a little bit of side of 2 ounces of pickle. Now I should mention that the corn and the beans that I use especially come from a specialty store. You guys may not have this in your area. Please don't hate on me. I can't help it. But it's this brand here. It's called Great Value, and they're at a store called Walmare, I believe is how you. I think that's how you put Walmare. I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah. So anyway, and then the most important thing is that you listen to Breezin' by Mr. George Benson. There we are. Boom. Apple tea.